So about a year ago, I posted a video of a box I made to put underneath the back seat of my truck. And I made this box because this truck doesn't have a lot of storage. I use the bed space a lot and I needed something in the cab where I could keep more of my things I didn't want just rattling around the car. I also had a really small baby-sized problem that is now, as you can see, grown into a toddler-sized problem because it makes it so I can't lift up the seat to get to Ford's stock storage, which is kind of right back here. So this right here was the solution. This is a little box that goes under your back seat, has drawers that pull out on each side. Got your drawer over here too. And so I can keep all my, truck accessories out of the way. So that video did what most of our videos did for a while, which is absolutely nothing. I mean, no one watches our videos. And then one day it took off. It started skyrocketing in views. It happens sometimes to some of our videos, but most of them nobody watches. So we started getting a lot of comments about the box, and so today I'm gonna go over a bunch of those. We'll talk about how it's holding up and also about the future of the box and maybe how you can get one. So, for the most part, it has been holding up pretty well. This was 1/4 inch or 6 millimeter birch plywood. A lot of people were concerned about that. They thought it would fall apart right away. So, a year later, hasn't fallen apart, still doing good. One reason for that, I think, is this is not the same plywood that you get from the big box stores. I went to a lumber supply company and got some pretty nice birch plywood, so it's a lot sturdier, a lot better made wood than you would typically get. Other people were concerned that the toolbox would just fly away the second you braked, and that has not been the case at all. This rubber floor mat just kind of holds it in place. It's not wedged down under the seat. There's some room there, but it doesn't go anywhere. It hasn't gone anywhere yet. Even after installing the Cobb Stage 2 kit on the Raptor, I do some spirited driving. It hasn't moved at all. I do think, though, if you were going to build one for yourself, you would probably want to secure it to the seat base somehow. There's some cookies back here. There's also these brackets that you could screw into or put a strap around or something if you're going to make your own. And we also have Matchbox cars. Another comment was actually about these seat latches right here. So a lot of people think they're to raise the seat, but that's not the case in the Fords. They're actually to lower the seat. So if you can get your car seat out and then you want to raise your seat to get to whatever, just pop it up. So one thing that I did change on this is the latches. So if you remember, if you watched the first video, these were black plastic latches, and I wanted the black just so it would blend in better. But these little tabs right here, they were plastic on the latches, and over time this started wiggling back and forth a little bit and it started to bend. Didn't want to open the right way. So I did replace the black ones with these chrome ones, and these actually have a lock on them. So, if you want to put your more tactical oriented tools in there, you could lock them up, keep them safe. Noise was another common comment. People thought that, having this box of tools in here rattling around in the back of your truck would be way too loud. But I can tell you from experience of having this in my truck for a year, it is no louder than a screaming 2-year-old. Actually, it's pretty quiet. I don't hear him at all. And so the most frequent comment we got about the box was actually, can you build me one? How can I buy one? You should mass produce these and sell them. And I did actually start looking into that, like how do you get something manufactured? How do you get a patent? That sort of stuff. And then I got a comment from someone I wasn't expecting to. So today, what we're gonna do is take a ride over to the Keystone Big Show and show you guys where this toolbox is headed. So the Keystone Big Show is basically SEMA's little brother. It's an automotive parts and accessories show where you show off, new products, you get orders for them. So let's go take a look at a new product. guy who left the comment I wasn't expecting right here. This is Josh. He's with DZ, and he left a comment saying, "Hey, I've got some questions about your toolbox. Can I get your email address?" So I gave my email address, and I got this cryptic email saying, "Hey, can you give me a call?" And it had his phone number. So Josh doesn't know this, but I deleted the email. Then a few minutes later, I thought maybe I should look into this some more. So I, checked my phone like you do. Email came back, thankfully. Took a look at his email address, found out what DZ was, and that maybe this guy is legit. So gave him a call, and we started talking.
Yeah, it was a kind of a awe-inspiring YouTube video. Luckily, I was hacking around YouTube that day, and I think we're in similar in age and similar situation. You have your next child on the way. I've got 3 little girls already. We both drive F-150s, and the storage devices that were on the market all required us to lift our seats. Yeah. And if you've ever done that, it's not an easy task. Even with as advanced as they've become, it's not an easy task. So I think out of your necessity, I could relate to it, and I just happen to have over 1 million square foot of manufacturing facility in Des Moines, Iowa, and the capabilities to bring products to market where anybody can go to any of their local stores and purchase it, get it installed, go online and buy it. So it just kind of made sense.
Yeah. So we got to talking, and DZ will now be making a version of the toolbox that you first saw on our YouTube channel. So DZ is in Iowa.
In Des Moines, Iowa, yeah.
They make truck product accessories.
Yeah, we're one of the largest truck accessory manufacturers in the world. Just shy of 1,000 positions. We've got about 180 open positions. So anybody out there listening in Iowa, go to dz.com and apply for a job, would you? So.
And the thing that really got me, and you mentioned this in our first conversation, the running boards on my Raptor, they make them.
Yeah, so we do a lot of OEM business.
Yeah, we're looking at a quality product, so let's take a look at it. All right, so this is the box. And just like the one I made, it's got a latch here, but this one is much better. So it locks, and then it's really easy to open, and it holds the drawer in place whenever it is locked. Pull it out. Oh, that's locked. Pull it out. And this one is awesome. It's full length. It goes side to side, the entire length of the truck. So you can open either door, pull it in, push it out, whatever you want to do. We've also got some dividers, right?
Yep, we're working on dividers, and then each unit will also ship with a rubber mat that's custom molded, so it'll actually go around each one of the slides that's there, and it'll come up the lip a little bit. So if you were to put a rifle or something in there, we don't want it rattling or banging around, and we don't want anything to scratch the stuff that you're putting in or the box itself. So each unit will also ship with that mat.
Yeah. And so this one, not made out of wood, made out of metal, just like a lot of you suggested. And so this is in a Chevy truck, you'll notice, which does have the transmission hump, unlike the Fords. And so they've made it so that the drawer clears the hump. So this will be available in this truck.
Yep, so right now we've got the 15 to 20 F-150 done. We've got the new body-style Chevy done. We think we've got the F-150 to fit into the new one as well. We're working on the Super Duty next, and then we'll probably start looking at some of the imports. One of the features is when it's locked on the other side and you slide it this way, the lock actually comes with it and acts as the stop, so you can't pull it all the way out on accident.
So this is the prototype. It's running on 3D printed slides right now. There's still a bit of tooling to do.
Yep, so that should be done late next week. We should see the first off-tool parts. Assuming those all go well, we'll get them textured and everything, which is a glass-filled reinforced nylon, so it's going to be much stronger than obviously the 3D and smoother to slide. But everything else is done. So we've got all the bill of materials and all the packaging and all that stuff figured out. Just waiting on that slide, get it tested. And we're hoping to start shipping the F-150 and the new body style Chevys at the end of April. So we're actually pre-selling it to local stores here at the show today. So the order should all be, the demand should all be out there, and as soon as we start shipping, you'll go to the local stores, you'll be able to find it online. So we're in April, you'll be able to take delivery of it.
Yeah, so a couple months, stay tuned, and if you're looking for one, you'll be able to buy them pretty soon.
Thank you guys.
See you later. But wait, there's more. So just in case you couldn't hear, it was really loud in there. The details. So right now the toolbox fits in the 2020 and up Chevys. It fits in the 2015 to 2020 Ford F-150s. They think it'll fit into the 2021s. You just take out that little plastic bin that they have in there right now. After that, they're working on the Super Duties, and then pretty much I think any other truck they can fit it into. They'll be available probably somewhere around the end of April at local stores, online. Whenever we get a production version of the toolbox ready, we'll take a closer look at that, the dividers, the mat, everything he was saying it comes with. We'll also talk more specifically about where you can find them, how much they're going to be, that type of stuff. So hit subscribe to stay tuned for that. And also the truck that the prototype box was in at the show, that was designed by Instagram King and Queen Yeti and YOLO. Also just genuinely good people, and they took the time to show us around the truck and all the cool stuff they put into it. So take a look at that right now. So we've got a man called Yeti and the wild YOLO here, and they do some amazing things with cars like that right there. So they chose everything for this truck. They got it built out, and so they're gonna show us around and what's on it.
Heck yeah, well, first of all, it's a 2020 Chevrolet Z71 with the baby Duramax in it. So it's got the 3.0 Duramax turbo. Just an awesome like half-ton pickup, right? Something that the average guy would buy to use as a work truck and then on the weekend use for adventure. So we outfitted it accordingly. First thing that we did was put a 40-gallon DC auxiliary tank that's gravity fed into the factory fuel system to get you range out of the truck. And I think they're estimating something like 12 or 1,500 miles you can get out of something like this. It's a lot of mileage out of a pickup, right? And that works both good for road tripping or to work and back, so you always have fuel on board. We utilize the DC topsiders kind of to go with the work-ready, adventure-ready theme, and one side would be like all your work kit, your tools, your hand tools and stuff you might want to get to. And on the other side is where we put some of the adventure gear, the Zap Solar and the Toyota lithium system. So you can see it's just
your wrap here.
Yeah,
that's awesome. Y'all designed that?
Yeah, we worked with DZ on that. I'll give is it Caitlin over there?
Yep.
Caitlin the credit on that. But there's a bunch of Easter eggs in it and a lot of homage to some of the brands that we work with. You can see like the Brownells doll sheep up in here, and
there's a Yeti chasing a Toyo tire.
Yeah.
Obviously, we're running Toyos.
Yeah. So we went with the
fun things like that.
So let's get on the body since we're talking about the wrap. We ended up having Fiberworks down in Southern California build us a 4-inch flare and a 2-inch rise body kit for it. Gives it a little bit of beef, and that also helped accommodate the Icon wheels, the Toyo tires, and then the suspension package from Icon. So
I have the same wheels on my Raptor. Good choice.
They look great, don't they? I've been dying for a reason to run those wheels, and I'm like, I'm going to order them for this.
Yeah.
So yeah,
they're beautiful.
A lot of the DZ parts we integrated in there. The simple stuff was the running boards, and
showing off something that
the bed cage. Yeah, the bed cage that I built out. The idea of that was to use their stuff, but to make it kind of a little bit more robust to really load it down. As you can see, I stuck anything I could on here. So, but yeah, some of the neat stuff is traditionally these 5-drawer boxes from DZ are mounted inside the bed, and Josh over at DZ tasked me with the job of trying to find a creative way to use that. And the nice thing is this thing, if you're at the job site and you were to grab it and pull it, you can pinch that out and slide this off the truck and take it to the job site with you. And there's no bolts or anything in that, so that's kind of neat. Some neat stuff up front. We worked with Warren on their new Ascent bumper. And this would be the first truck with the first Silverado Z71 that has the Duramax in it, so it has an intercooler and stuff, that we outfitted with this bumper. So there's a little bit of massaging to make that happen, but it fit and it's nice. So I think it kind of complements the front end. These things are notoriously kind of big and wacky looking. So the approach angle is what I was really concerned about. If you were to actually use this thing on the trail, they were just so much face that
rip it right off.
The overhang was super low. So fit nice. I went with the KC Amber Cubes, the C series in here. And I'm a big fan of Ambers. In bad weather and dust, they cut like really well. So another thing, since we're talking about KC, they were nice enough to ship us their new Flex 4 series lights, and these they just got on the market. So we were stoked to get them kind of early and get them on here. If we had power to the rig right now, I'd show you. They have a really neat feature where they have like an amber back glow, which is nice. And then obviously they run a tunable lens, so you swap out, besides the aesthetics of the bezel, where you can match your anodized color to your theme of your rig, these lenses all swap out. And you'll see if you take a look over at the Yeti build, the OG Jeep over there, you'll see I'm running a different setup on the same lights.
Okay. Cool.
So, I mean, how cool is it to be able to tune your lights?
Yeah,
you know, so you have a flood and a spot on the same light. So.
Show the icon.
Oh yeah, so what we ended up doing with Icon is they set us up with their coilover package and then their billet uppers. Super tunable, reservoir setup. Nice thing is, anybody that knows coilovers, how fast you can adjust ride height and kind of mess with it.
Yeah.
So
I see all the
yeah,
threads on there.
yeah. So it's bitching. I'm set at about a 3.5 inch lift on this, and what we're going to end up doing in the back is work on the spring tack, the leaf springs in the back, and kind of level it out at a later time. But
I need those on my Raptor. I put a winch on it, went right down.
oh man, the
Oh,
bumper
yeah.
and the winch kills
So
you.
heavy.
Yeah. So yeah.
Well,
On
I was
this,
excited to show off this feature, but I know we've already been over it. But
Yeah.
that's something I've been showing people all day long.
Undersea
is-
drawer.
Yeah.
you can see, you can't see that enough. Just keep showing them that.
Excellent.
So for the power system on here, the idea was, obviously we'll get to the fridge and stuff in the back, but being a work ready and adventure ready, my mindset was you would have cordless tools and stuff on here,
Oh, yeah.
and it'd be rad to be able to just plug in 110 and run and charge all your tools, you know, at the job site during the week, and on the weekend you run all your accessories. So Dakota Lithium, this is actually a 200 amp hour system. There's another battery that's going to eventually go in here, but you have a nice Synwave inverter, which is great for like drone batteries, laptop batteries, sensitive camera batteries, stuff like that. Ended up kind of getting creative with their Hex series, their track, and set it up so that you could put the RTT, the rooftop tin on there, but you could also pull that off and throw your kayaks, your bicycles, whatever else you want to go on.
I
the
just like
weekend.
how modular the system is, because you can add all these little attachments on for tie down points. You can add the light on and adjust it wherever you want. They put the grab handles
DZ's really
on.
good for that.
Yeah, insane.
What I learned really quickly with DZ is everything kind of works on all their systems. Like these things are bitching in the tracks here, and then you'll see on a bed rail on another build they'll have all their tie down and swivel things.
Well, they even use that same track system on the back
Yeah.
of this to put these mole panels in so that you could just bolt everything straight to the back.
So,
Pretty cool system.
one of the other little things that you don't really notice, but I took the time to blow the rear bumper apart and powder coat it to match the winch bumper up front, things like that.
It was chrome. We're like,
Yeah.
no.
And I left, you know, like the accent pieces for the exhaust, so it had a little bit of pop because we didn't completely wipe all the chrome from it.
Yeah.
But stuff like that, to me, kind of finishes out a rig's look, ties it all together. I don't know if you had seen this, but they came out with their fridge slide, which, man, I love. I can't wait to see that come to production. You know?
Refrigerator, especially in the truck market, once you get the truck so high in the air, it's kind of hard to access it, especially at the depths of that refrigerator. So there's a lot of slides on the market, right, that do this, right? It's still the same height. We developed a secondary system that comes out, and now you have better access to it. So when you're going to get your eggs out in the morning when you're camping, you can see everything that you're getting. You can reach out to the bottom. Or in this car, Yeti gets his rocks out.
The Snowmaster Traveler Series, it's a 42-liter fridge freezer. Really nice. We run these in all our rigs. We also use them for our game meat and stuff for deep freezing at the shop. So we trust them. We ran these for probably 3, 4, 5 years and never had an issue with it. So great product out of South Africa. Yeah, that's kind of in a quick little lap. These panels are neat. They're just coming out with these for their topsiders, and the nice thing is these little temporary wing nuts are going to eventually be replaced with maybe like a spiral knob. But what it does is you can come in here and pull those loose, and these panels drop down so you can access mounting really fast and simple without having to remove anything.
Yeah, very cool rig. Y'all did an awesome job. So,
Thank
man
you.
called Yeti, Wild Yellow. They're on Instagram. They're pretty big over there, so go check them out.
We appreciate you guys.
Hi, guys.
In business.
Yeah, we're looking at a quality product, so let's take a look at it.
Hey, we're filming, knucklehead.
No, you're good. You're good. Customer here.